Hello internet people, I welcome you back to my channel. I'm Jasmine and I want to show you how you can create this isometric 3D rendery type of thing. It's a very sped up video, so it's more like a follow along, take inspirational kind of style video, because I don't want to upload another 30-minute video. It's kind of long. Also, I tried to make my microphone a bit louder or more sensitive, so you can hear me, because apparently the last time you couldn't hear me that well. So okay, I used a lot of modifiers in it, which made me think about that you could kind of interpret this as a teaser. Like, we could make something like that in our useless Blender tutorial series. So because if you're creating such a complex scene, you're using like a lot of modifiers. For example, here I'm using the area modifier to make the fence, so I don't have to model it again and again. Also, I'm using a lot of Boolean modifiers later, and I'm also using a lot of solidify modifier, and later I will even use a displacement modifier. I got the idea of this model yesterday as I was scrolling through Twitter, because I now am a Twitter user. I made a Twitter account yesterday, and I searched the hashtag Blender3D, and there's like a lot of amazing people that are doing a lot of crazy stuff with Blender, like nothing shitty like I am doing. And I saw a lot of these isometric interior designs, and also like a church, I guess, yeah. And so I thought, yes, I finally can do a saloon low poly style. Oh my god. Like, I never had the idea to do such a thing, so I would highly recommend going through the hashtag Blender3D. Yeah, I actually, in my work, like, I'm a 3D artist at work. I do 3D all day long, but I usually just do really realistic stuff, because I'm a crime scene reconstruction nerd. And so everything has to be highly realistic. Every material has to be as realistic as it can be. And then you also use a lot of polygons, mostly. And so it was kind of a totally switched from my usual work, because I actually, the last time I did something low poly was, I guess, when I studied a few years back. And you have to be kind of accurate when you make low poly, because you can see every damn polygon, so you can't hide any, you can't smooth something out. Yeah. Yeah, I really struggled with the fence, because I totally forgot that there's a function called bridge loop cuts, or no, bridge loop, or I don't know. And yes, I did that later then. This is a really cool function. You can just take a face and then go to the end panel and use this face as a transform orientation, so you can then extrude stuff or move stuff along the axis of the normals from the face that you had before. So that's really, really cool, especially for this part. Yeah. Also, I did this thing because it's Friday, and usually Fridays people are going out, but I don't have any friends. You are my friends. I'm just kidding, like, nobody's watching these videos. So therefore I decided to do this. It took about 4 hours. I guess I don't know if this is a short time for it or a long time. Here I'm using then the proportional editing to make the curves of these backdrop, and you can download this this file. I put it up on Google Drive, and you can do whatever you want to do with it, and maybe it's helpful to look at it. I don't know what you want to do with it. Please don't sell it, okay? It would be a shitty move. Yeah, here I'm using the Boolean, so I use one object as a Boolean object to carve into the saloon, so there can be a room, because I then later put a light into the room, so it kind of seems like there's some fire. And here's really helpful to not use the B-mesh Boolean thing, but use the carve one. Yeah. And I really enjoyed playing around in there and just like model anything. At work I usually have very strict guidelines on how to model something, so it was cool to just like do as I want to. I'm using the 3D cursor a lot to center stuff, because I'm not working grid based here or anything. I think you should like try to model stuff grid based, especially if you want to do it for games, but I'm too lazy for that. Also, this is not made for a game. So I'm then here, I straighten out the loops by scaling them along the x-axis to 0, so I can then use these loop cuts better to make some detailing into the door, just so it's not so blank. I don't know what this should be, like this detailing. I just thought it would look cool. Yeah. And then I'm like basically reusing a lot, because for example the fence I later then put on the porch, I guess, and also the stairs I reuse, and later I will also do like little props like a hay bale and a barrel, just to put something into the scene so it doesn't look too boring. And it's a good tip. Use some clutter in your scene, but don't overdo it. Like, don't put like 20 objects in there. You still want to be like a readable scene, like big shapes and some medium shapes, and then like also a bit detailing, but not too much. So you will see later on the barrels and stuff, I will put like little rims, but like not crazy amount of detail, because I don't want to obstruct the view at any point. Here I finally remembered that there was a function called bridge edge loops, and I used it and it works perfectly. And before that it took me so long to connect the stupid fences. Yeah, here I'm doing the hay balls, and this is pretty cool. I used a display modifier and made the ground a vertex group. Then I in the display modifier I just used the noise, put the contrast way down from the noise texture, and then just played a bit around, and then I got this really cool displacement of the ground. And then I'm using here some planes with an error modifier and a solidify modifier. After that I will apply them, and then with the select random tool I just select some edges, scale them, push them around so it gets this offset and doesn't look so symmetrical. Last thing is just making a barrel, because that was the props I was thinking of. Hay bales and barrels, and then also a bench. I don't know. The last thing then was just putting in some lights. I did use like a red light for indoors, and then outdoors like a darker, very not so strong light and very weak light for the shadows, so you can see also in the shadows something. And then I also used the more brighter light. I think at the end it was kind of a cool light. I can't remember really. And for the materials, I just used the same material over and over and just changed the color. It was a PBR material with a diffuse, very diffuse material, like the roughness very high. So now we're at the end. It was really hard to talk so fast. So I hope you liked it, and if you not liked it, then you don't. I don't care. You don't care. We don't care. And I thank you for watching this video, and I hope we will see us in the next one. Bye!